As you all know by now, the PC hardware market is pretty much tapped out when it comes to graphics cards and computer processors, with cryptocurrency miners and scalpers scourging for everything they can find to make a profit, the pandemic causing shipping and manufacturing issues all over the place. On top of all the hype around the new generation of graphics cards, getting a lot more people excited about buying them, it all just compounded into this one big, nasty mess that we have today. And I haven't even mentioned the recent tariff exemptions expiring that are increasing costs up to 25% on its own for US customers. It all sucks, so let's have some fun with it.
You smell that? It smells like a bit goblin.
So today's video really isn't going to be much more than poking some fun at the current situation where graphics cards and to a lesser extent processors are out of stock, and in turn their prices are way overinflated. I'm not sure what I just did there. The prices are just going up. And yes, I know this video has already been done before, but since I've been championing buying older used cards to not waste so much money while this all blows over, I kind of figured this would be a fun twist. Nothing is more amusing to me than seeing sellers on eBay or Craigslist trying to sell their 5+ year old graphics card for like half their MSRP when in reality they're only worth like a fraction of what they're asking for. Since, PC hardware advances extremely quickly, and even 5 years old is like really bad compared to today's standards. Now, of course, the prices inflating on even these older parts now stems from the newer PC parts being out of stock. But no matter how you slice it, it sucks. There are some ways to kind of sort of get around this, which I'll discuss briefly at the end of the video, but this is one of those times where there really isn't a whole lot you can do other than make light of the situation, keep your spirits up and take a deep breath, and just move on. Ultimately, no matter how mad you get and who you're pointing your fingers at online, you really cannot change the situation. That's just how it is. The best thing to do here is to not take it personally since everyone is affected, and it's not like the scalpers or miners or whoever else you want to blame is doing it just to make you angry. It's just a bad situation overall, with really the only thing we can do is just wait till it all blows over. So with all that said, let's start taking a look at some of these deals. All right, so here we're going to start in eBay, and I know it's not that old of a graphics card, but I'm going to start with the Radeon RX 5700 XT because that's the card that I have. So let's go 5700 XT. Jesus Christ. Okay, that's bids. We're going to focus on buy it now offers for this little perusing through the offers, mainly because bids can fluctuate a lot. A lot of times you'll see graphics cards like they'll start the bids at like half of what they are normally going for, and then they end up going for a lot more. For instance, let's just go back to the bids. See this one right here, it's going for bid as 2 days left, 2 bids on it for 610. However, most of the buy it now offers are say like 1,000. I think I saw one for like 900. That's a bid. But most of the offers are going for over 1,000, and these bids will shoot up a lot in the last like hour or so. So anyways, let's go to buy it now. And eBay's having issues. Cool. That was weird. Anyways, so first one I see is $1,100 for the Sapphire Radeon Pulse RX. Anyways, 5700 XT for $1,100. I bought mine new for $500 a year and a half ago, so I could sell mine for a profit of $600, assuming I go with 1100 or even more if I go like higher. What's the 35 for 3? But I guess the bundle deal. Normally bundle deals you'll kind of get like a deal on, but this is like a deal for the seller. That is interesting. Anyways, let's start poking around at some of these. So this is an open box, refurbished by Sapphire. Not sure about that one. Free 2-day shipping, so that's nice, I guess. Saves you like 10-20 bucks. There's one for 1,000. I mean, honestly, that seems like a decent, okay average price, I guess, compared to the other ones that are over 1,000. Oh, here's a deal on a Dell. I guess someone bought a pre-built and are pulled out their graphics card to sell it. Honestly, can't blame them if they can make like 400 bucks on a graphics card. There's a Power Color Red Devil for 1,400. List price. Oh wow, thank you. 7% off. List price of $1,500. Wow, thank you so much. It's another 1,000. Seems like to be the average or like the low average even. What's it? What? 410. 5700 ST. Shop with confidence. Brand new. What? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so it was going through eBay, and I guess they had 5 sold, or they had 5 to sell. But that's interesting though. Like I'm curious why they wouldn't just sell that on their website. But okay, I've had enough of that. That's making me sad. All right, so one of the ones I noticed because I bought one recently to test it out for a video recently. So here we got some buy it now offers for $250. Honestly, this is the best price you'll probably see on a 970 right now. $250 for a 970 plus $12 shipping. Here's what was getting me. So like a couple nights ago, I was just kind of talking with my brother, just talking about the market, and I was like, huh, how much a 970 is going for now? And the graphics card that I bought for 150 about 2 months ago, used, which I would say is still a lot for a 970 these days. One for like 300. I mean, they have some offers for 250, but like 300, 450 for. So in theory, the graphics card that I bought a month ago or 2 months ago, I could flip it for about $150 profit or more if I sell it for more. Why do you want 450 for a 970? Why? When all the other offers are so much lower. What, are you giving them some sort of under the table favors? Upgraded my rig, selling my 970. So this is what I don't get. Whenever I've upgraded my rig, I've bought a new graphics card, like I budgeted out, 500, 800 bucks for a card or whatever. And then when I sell my old graphics card, I've always wanted to like just get back like the bare minimum. Like, oh, I have a 1070 Ti. I'm going to sell that for like $100 or $150, which is like, you could normally, I mean, barring this crazy market, you could normally sell it for probably a couple $100 or more. Because it did start around like 500 new, I think. Because I've already budgeted out, and like anything coming back at that point is pretty much just money back in my pocket. This dude's trying to sell a 970 because he upgraded it, and he's selling it for like well over what it seems like anything is going for in this market. Like, oh my god. So it seems like you can probably get one for 250 to 300. Some are going for over. I think the first few I saw were kind of higher than normal. First couple 250, that seems like a good deal. Getting 285, 275, 260, well, 230. Well, there's your deal, guys. 230. Well, let's continue with the trend of old graphics cards I bought recently. 270X. 250. 200. 205. Oh, I guess here's a deal on it for 154. I bought one of these, what was it? 3 months ago, 4 months ago for like $80. This market's just making it really tempting to want to flip my cards. Like, I'm not like a scalper or anything. Like, I just kind of bought cards to like, oh, it'd be fun to test these graphics cards, get some used ones off the market instead of wasting money on like $100, e-waste graphics cards that are new. Ooh, 218. What is this, like broken or something? Whoever shot these pictures had no idea what they're doing. I guess trying to make it look longer than it actually is. The camera adds 10 inches. Oh, we got 110 for 270X from China. Oh, what's this? Well, you get $30 shipping. Okay. That eats into the deal quite a bit. Maybe the shifting. I guess the shipping is deterring a lot of people for $30 shipping, but like even in total, like 110 plus 30 bucks, not 30 ducks. Wow, I can't speak today. Plus $30 is only 140 compared to these like 270Xs going for 200 plus. This guy has no idea what they're doing. Looks like it might have like a bracket or something in there that you might need for like a Dell PC or something. Because I mean, like it is a Dell OEM card, so maybe that's why they're charging $600 for it. But like, looks like you could probably just take that thing off and it's just a regular old 270X with a blower style cooler. That would not be worth $600. Even in this market, I mean, everything else is going for around 150 to 250. Let's look at some processors. Okay, so let's start with the 4790K. It's the first processor that I bought personally, like way back in the day. Didn't realize it was like a special edition Devil's Canyon when I bought it. They are certainly old. Like, what is this? This was in the middle of 2014 or so we're going on 7 years old. And not a good start. 180, 170, 173. Oh, we got a deal one for 160. Woo! Wow. Oh, free shipping from China. 250. Wow, they got a lot of these things. More than 10 available. Well, if you want your deal CPU, here you go. 160 for a 4790K. 135? That's not too... There's a 4790 without a K? That would explain why it's only 135 instead of like 160 or so. Yeah, not too great. These fluctuate quite a bit. Like, I'm finding like 150 to like 280. I guess new versus used, but still. Pretty old processor. Pretty freaking old. Let's check out another popular one. Let's try 2600K. Again, we're talking, this one's probably about 9 years old. Launch date Q1 2011. So over 10 years, well, about 10 years old. So a 10-year-old processor you can buy for $85. And honestly, I would pay 30 to 50. I mean, maybe I'm just a little skewed. Like, I'm more of a, I'm definitely a bit of a cheaper guy. I don't know. This just feels way too expensive. Or maybe it's just people who are like way overgauging the market. Like here, they're just like, well, last gen or two generations old processors are going for like $400 in the used market. Maybe I can probably go for like a quarter of that or something. But I don't know, because the 4790K listings that I was looking at, some of them had like over 100 sold for like that $160 price. So maybe there is a market. Look, even this first one says last one for 85 for 2600K. 4 sold, so like 5 total. I mean, there certainly is a market for these old processors, even at these inflated prices. What's another processor? Let's look at the 16 Ryzen 1600. Well, these might be new, but even if they're new, they should adjust pricing just based off of they're 4 years old at this point, maybe a little under 4 years old. But even pre-owned, it even specifically says pre-owned for 1600 for 130 plus $15 shipping. Can't really count that into the price or the market value. Pre-owned for 150, pre-owned for 170. Oh, here's your deal. Pre-owned for 120. Well, 118 if you want to be exact. Ooh, oh, parts only. I was gonna say, here you go. Like, I would buy this for $80. Oh wait, this is a 1300X for 170. That can't be right. That cannot be right. Wait, what? Oh, they have a. I see now. 1600X for 170 wouldn't be too bad. Probably go like 90 or 100 normal, I would say. Quick aside, I just love the look of these chips. Like, it's just very simple. Like, you have your green PCB, underneath it. Then you have this one big, simple, flat IHS on top of it. Kind of like it. 1600X for 120, 1600 for 107. Looks like someone dropped the price a little bit, but you still have to pay $10 shipping. Maybe you go the 1600X because you're basically paying the same price for a little bit better performance. Getting back to graphics cards, why don't we take a poke at another graphics card that I used to own, the GTX 1060, 6 gigabytes. Which when I bought it, believe was 250 to 300. I think it was like 280 actually. Maybe 290 now that I think of it, but somewhere around that like 250 to $300 range. Now it's somewhere. I think it's in my girlfriend's computer now, but not a good start. Not a good start. Got like a mini one for 450. You got a regular one by MSI for 450. Not good. No good. No good. No good. Here's a blower style cooler for 400. Parts only for 130. I know graphics cards are like very popular right now and they're like going through the roof, but like a not working graphics card is still not working. So like, why are you trying to sell it for 130? Maybe someone could get it going. Maybe that's, if you're very handsy like that and very good with electronics, maybe that's what you do to get a deal on a graphics card. Look for deals like these. The next one I wanted to look at was this one, because 520 for a 1066 gigabyte. That is about double. I think the 1060 released for $250 or $275, but it's like you're getting close to double of what the release price was, and that's just asinine for me. Like 4.5 years after the graphics card was released, you're talking it's gone up in value, almost up to double of what it released for retail, and it's used. All right, I've had enough of this. This is kind of annoying me. So I mentioned earlier in the video that there are some ways to kind of get around the market being so out of whack, but they're really not good, and they'll certainly vary from person to person. So I apologize if you thought I had some sort of secret special sauce bullet thing to get out ahead. I don't. The ultimate advice I can give is wait if you can, or get an old and used card for stupid cheap for the time being. Now I know that sounds a little contradictory to what we just went over, like seeing 6-year-old graphics cards going for like a few $100. But the way I'm thinking about this is, if you're lucky, you might have a family or friend who has some extra or old graphics cards laying around that would be an upgrade for you, or something to get you by in case yours died or something. And what you can do, see if they're willing to part with their old graphics card for a reasonable price. For example, one of my friends was building a PC recently, and they ordered a 1050 Ti for like $150 or so, and I was like, ugh. But the order ended up getting canceled, and then the price went up like 50 or $100. So since I had an extra 1050 around, which I know is different from a 1050 Ti, it's like quite a bit worse actually. But they were okay with the 1050, knowing that it's not going to be great, but it's going to be okay for now. And I gave it to him for $40. And you can probably go check yourself, but like on eBay, 1050s are going for well over $100, which again is horrible for graphics card that got released 6 years ago and was released for like 100 to 110, $120. But yeah, so I gave it to him for 40 bucks. And maybe you have a friend that has like an old GPU, like a 1050, 1060 or something, that they're not looking to sell and flip for a lot of money. And they're just like, hey, I'm holding on to this. If you want this, go ahead and have it for like 50 bucks. Now, of course, I know not everyone has friends or family like that that has just old GPUs laying around that they can sell for really cheap. What I would suggest doing is don't buy a graphics card. If you have one that's working, even if it's a little slow for what you want to do, just wait. You'll thank yourself later because I know it's going to be a long time. Estimates probably have it about a year or so for now that things might start easing up a little bit. And unfortunately, there really is no definite timeline because even if we estimate, say, getting new fabs online, even in like 2 or 3 years' time, we don't know if like the pandemic's going to get worse. We don't know if shipping is going to magically get better tomorrow. We don't even know if Nvidia or AMD have some sort of secret sauce that just launched a bunch of graphics cards onto the market. We just don't know. So if you can wait, then I would. If you can't, try to work out the lowest card that you can get by with for say like the next year. Just plan for the next year, say. If you can get by with a 1050, even if it sucks, even if it's horrible, give it a shot. Spend 100 bucks on it, maybe 150. I personally have trouble recommending buying a graphics card that, like, say, even for 150 bucks in like a year or two's time, say if the market normalizes, you're losing out 150 bucks. Like, don't get me wrong. If this was a normal market, 1050s would maybe be going for like 40 to 50 bucks. Maybe. The problem that I have with it is recommending someone to like spend money on something that they're probably going to lose most of the value on, or at least a good chunk of the value on, say like a year or two down the road. Because like say you do buy a 1050 for like 125, and then like a year passes and you're like, oh, market's back to normal again. I can buy a 3080 for 700 bucks. I can buy a 3070 for 500 bucks. Let me just sell my 1050 for a hunt. Oh, they're only going for like 30 now. Well, that's not really going to help me out too much, is it? Now, otherwise, if you must buy a graphics card because yours died or you're building a new system for a friend or family member and you don't have a good source for a cheap card, the best thing you can do is, if you haven't built the system already, just go with buying a pre-built. You can check out Linus Tech Tips' Secret Shopper series because they do a really good job of checking out some of the OEMs and system integrators for, you know, figuring out who gives like the best deals for the pre-built, who gives the best specs, all that kind of stuff. So that all kind of sucked, but I kind of had fun with it. I had fun browsing through some of those really bad deals and looking at some of the hardware that even I have right here and I could flip, and I'm currently considering it, but I probably won't. But anyways, let me know what you think of this one in the comment section below. Like it and subscribe if you liked it, or dislike it and hit the thumbs down button, whatever. Do what you want. Go over and join the Big Album Discord server and come and talk to me. I'm always open for questions and just chatting about stuff. And I hope to catch you in the next one.